Ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here, alright? It's not just any other football match that's going to happen today. Unfortunately, this match might unintentionally be one of the biggest matches where Real Madrid have to prove themselves again. Because this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about the rivalry, right? This time, a new season, we have a new manager, a new start. We're on top of the table and things aren't looking entirely good, but this match has the ability to turn things around. I always believed that ever since I started watching football, if you're someone who supports either one of these two clubs, right, Real Madrid or Barcelona, you get the bragging rights if your club wins. If your club wins even by a single goal, that means you get all the bragging rights. And if your team loses, even if it's just by a single goal margin, a defeat is still a defeat and you have to walk the walk of shame, which in today's day and age is you don't talk, you don't yap, no, you just take. You become an instrument of bangery. You become that chair in the hotel room that just sits idly while the bed is getting all the action. You become that. Needless to say, I think this is one of the most important matches in the history of football. I mean, it probably is. Let's get down to brass tacks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk why this match is so hyped now. This time, we all know that for Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe is currently the main star, the poster boy, the man who was promised to bring glory to Real Madrid. It was written in the prophecies. He's the successor of the great, the living, the legend, the GOAT. Opposite to him is, of course, the brash brat, the arrogant, the controversial, the flamboyant, the kid superstar, the Lamine, the Yamal. He is so full of mouth, he's so full of talk ahead of this El Clasico. Feels like he's very confident, feels like he's almost overconfident.
Tampoco pienses mucho que vas a perder.
No, y tienes que marcar en el Bernabéu.
O sea, ya lo he hecho, ¿no te acuerdas?
Sí.
Roban a los... se quejan...
It's getting closer and closer, ladies and gents. The time is almost here. The time for destruction. Yep, the El Clasico is officially upon us and we have the lineups. This is what we have to work with. Both the teams are missing a few key players, but it's going to be crazy, guys. It's going to be so crazy. I can see it coming. This is not going to be a boring match. I can anticipate that. It's going to be crackers. It's going to be a lot of crackers. But anyways, let's talk about how we're going to face the demon that is Barcelona and why is it so important right now that we defeat them in this El Clasico. Let me remind you something that happened not too long ago, right? We were blessed to win the UCL twice under Carlo Ancelotti's reign, right? We won the UCL twice, of course, and then Toni Kroos left, and then Nacho left. Some of the key players, we lost them. But Kylian Mbappe came. Hey, that was a highlight in our lives. He came and brought with him a hope that will become even bigger. He brought the hope that we can dream even bigger than we have. The treble, the La Liga, whatever you have it, right? But unfortunately, things didn't go our way. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlo Ancelotti's final season saw us lifting 0 trophies. 0, that's the number. On top of that, we were humiliated by Barcelona on multiple occasions, such as the Super Copa, the Copa del Rey, and twice in La Liga. So these were some humiliating moments that a club of the standard of Real Madrid, they won't forget, right? Like losing to your biggest rival throughout the entire season, not winning a single match, not even drawing a single match, but losing, and a 4-0 loss in between those. That's I gotta say, as a fan of this club, as a supporter of Real Madrid since a long time, I've seen the club through thick and thin. And ladies and gentlemen, the defeat that Barcelona handed us last season, I would I would put that on top of the biggest humiliations ever, right? Because think about it, right? You're one of the most glorified clubs in the world football, and you have the most decorated trophy cabinet, and suddenly this Barcelona team gets a new manager and they start whooping. What? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, they were supposed to, rebuild, restructure. They had no money, they had no players, they had no ideology, but Flick came in and he just he just changed the game. He just flipped the script. And suddenly it was us who didn't have a philosophy, who didn't have a direction, who didn't have a cohesive midfield. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the build up to one of the greatest games in club football, the most anticipated fixture. Real Madrid face Barcelona in a tie. It's not just about bragging rights this time. It's not just about the noise, right? This time it's personal. It's really personal. It's very emotional, and it feels like it's going to be probably one of the biggest Clasicos that we will see in our lifetimes. It's shaping up to be that. Lamine Yamal versus Kylian Mbappe. We've got Pedri versus Jude Bellingham. Let's go, let's go. Let's check out the lineup. Yeah. So we've got Thibaut Courtois in goal. Has he been the best at goal? Yes, he has. I don't want people to raise any fingers at him. He's he's a warrior. He defends the club with all he has, and despite a shaky defense, he's been rock solid in goal. So that's a good man. At the centre back partnership, we have Dean Huijsen and Eder Militao, the two centre backs that have been the most consistent this season. Happy that Dean Huijsen is back from an injury. He has to. I mean, this game is literally his proving grounds. I mean, yeah, this is his debut El Clasico. He has to show what he's made of, and how can he deliver the expectations that he has set for the club. I mean, this is where you need to prove yourself. At Yeah, Eder Militao, he's good. He's been consistent, but he does make some mistakes. So does Dean, which get overlooked very often. But yeah, hope there's no mistakes from these two. Uh, Coming to the fullbacks, we have Alvaro Carrerisimo, and Federico Valverdisimo. Valverde, he's our midfielder. He's our fullback. He's our right back. He can plug any hole uh, that we have. So he's there. Carreras, Guler, Chouameni, Kamavinga in the midfield. Damn, that's going to be a crazy, crazy midfield. Kama and Chua as the double pivots. They're going to be orchestrating the play with Guler a little front, a little to the right, maybe. And damn, what's that? Jude Bellingham up front? I don't think he's going to play up front, but he is going to play a little closer to the front side because Kama and Chouameni are involved. But hey, it's going to be a great, great lineup. Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe, these two are who we are banking on and have our hopes on. Please, guys, fucking deliver. This is the big stage. Come on, this is what you get paid for. If you have at least some blood inside those veins, you have to show them who's boss around here. Santiago Bernabeu, guys. Come on, let's not fuck this up, okay? This ain't fuck up our right. That's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from my end. Whew, it's going to be a very nerve-wracking game. Hope things go well. Hope things go in our favor. Thank you.